Hey there, friends. How are you? Welcome back to day 18 of the Fool's Journey. We are winding our way closer to the end. We end on day 22, and today is day 18. And we are working our way through the Fool's Journey with the focus being of manifesting me, which is my concept of becoming the person who has the things that you want in order to attract those things much easier. And that way you don't have to focus on one or more specific things and spread your energy thin. You simply work on becoming that person. And since you are the common denominator of all aspects of your life, then everything is affected. So that's why I love this concept of manifesting me, because it takes the focus from external things to us, to our internal work and um, uh, emotions and things that we can work on and control instead of looking to the outward things that we can't, but sometimes want to try or feel like we want to. So, quickly, yesterday's card was the Tower card, and that card spoke to when it feels like everything is kind of falling down, crumbling down around us. I referenced like here in LA, I think of an earthquake, right? But that's the tower coming down. And when this happens and it feels like just everything is falling apart and not going well, this is part of that up leveling. It's creating space or creating circumstances where the things that don't align with us are brought to our attention, right? Because they're falling away or things keep happening that, knock them back. And if they try to come back in, or we try to reach out to those old habits or people or circumstances, we're shown how, as we're becoming this new version of ourselves, that they no longer fit or just not as well. That doesn't mean they have to be gone completely, but just maybe they're not as big a part or a priority in your life. And that's a natural process as we continue to do our work, internal work, and up level and become a new person. Some things just don't fit anymore, and that's okay, because it's making room for something better and something much more aligned and beneficial for us. So after the Tower, today's card is the Star card. And there really is no challenge or, flip side of the coin to the Star card. This just shows it's that light at the end of the tunnel, that light in the dark, right? That star. And it shows her standing in water, which represents healing coming after all these challenges, and also her connection up to the cosmos, the universe, spirit, where she's receiving energy and also could be sending up her dreams and her desires so that they are heard. And she's connected above and below, which is that balance, right? That's that balance that we seek. So the star really is just a hope card. There's nothing flip side about that. And so the keywords that I have for you in connection to the star are healing, renewal, hope, connection to your dreams, bright spot in the dark. There is no negative on that. And the word negative is not my favorite. It is a default word, but there are no challenges to the star card. And so the questions that I have are definitely internal, reflecting, and points of view or perspective that you can journal through or consider with the star card. And, especially if you're in or right after a challenging period where it did feel like everything was falling down around us. We always come out the other side of that, and there is light and hope at the end of that. So the first question is, am I giving myself grace through this process of manifesting me? And that is a question that I have put in here a couple of different times, because it is a process and it's a progression and a reflecting time, or something goes positive and things are moving easily, and then we hit a challenging time. And frequently, when we hit those challenging times, We tend to think, oh, well, it means it's not meant to be, or something that we did, or it's just not my time. And so, are you giving yourself grace through this process, reminding yourself that you are learning to be a new person? If you can use the analogy of a little kid, right? They go from an infant to a baby and a toddler, an adolescent, a teenager. So it's this process that they go through. And it's a visible process because we see them growing, but we give them grace. We let them experiment and have their um, 3 steps forward and 4 steps back, or something along those lines. 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. And it's not a linear process. It's give and take. It's progress, and then like a little bit of a plateau, or it feels like we're going backwards. So if you can apply that sense of giving yourself grace like you would a child becoming the next version of themselves, growing, then you can see where that comes from. That, are you giving yourself that grace? And then the second question is, am I taking, or do I need time to heal after a challenging time? Because very often we also want to say, okay, let's just go push through, power through. And when the easing up comes, we don't actually give ourselves that time to rest and heal. We think, okay, we pushed through, and now we're through the dark part, and we just have to keep going. But getting through the dark part or the challenging parts also means that you've used a lot of energy or a lot of resources or a lot of stamina, whatever it is, and giving yourself that time to heal and recuperate. So I think that speaks very well, or this is represented very well in this card, because she's standing in that body of water, and water represents healing and our emotions. So checking in to see how we're doing as we continue looking to our dreams that are coming our way. So that's what I have for you with the star card. And tomorrow's card is the moon card. So we go from the star to the moon and see what comes up for you. What do you think that might be about with the photo, with the image there? And we end on day 22. So we're very close to the end of this fool's journey. I would love to hear what your thoughts are. I would love to hear anything you've learned, some aha moments or takeaways you've had along the way. And keep an eye out tomorrow for the video about the moon. I will see you then.